Can you hold on just a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello? Oh, wait. Wait. I sent you to... Hold on. Hello? Hello? The agave is in the baking aisle. It should be on the top shelf of the baking aisle. If it's not there, it may be by honey or syrup, but at our Kroger, it's in the baking aisle. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, you've got me, Jodie B, and I am so excited to have my friend Heather join me. Heather, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
You're welcome. Excited to be here.
So I'll give Heather a chance to talk about her background a little bit and how we know each other in just a few. But before I do that, just want to remind everybody, if you have a chance, please go out to your podcaster of choice. Give us a good review. We would appreciate it. And please join our Facebook page. We have a lot of great conversations going on over there. A lot of fun things. Sometimes we vote on various things. We share our coffee mugs. We talk about which restaurants we should eat at, all sorts of exciting stuff. Always Disney related. Some run Disney, some Disney Cruise Line, lots of food related because, that's everyone's love language. So come join our Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. So tonight, we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, Disney Cruise Line. I think we all know that Lonnie and I are big DCL fans. Jeff is getting there. We've got Team Jeff is on his way. So, but anytime we can talk about the ships and the various sailings, it's a great conversation. And I have been looking for someone who's been on this particular ship and noticed that my friend Heather had just been sailing on her. So I asked her if she would come join us. So thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
So
love talking everything Disney. So
well, I do too, and I love that we're here together. So Heather is a part of the Lizard running group. You would think that she and I would know each other through that, and I guess technically that's how we met.
Yeah.
But I have to give a super shout out to her because when we were college shopping, I had found out that her son was going to one of the schools that my daughter was very much interested in and had reached out to her and said, "Can I talk to you about this school?" And she was like, "Absolutely." And I don't know, you spent at least an hour on the phone with me telling me all the details. I just think that goes to show the power of this community. You could have never met someone face to face in person, but if you're part of this awesome, uplifting, really fantastic group, that people are willing to help each other with things that are even not Disney related. And fun fact of the story, so now both of our kids are at the same college. So they've never met, but
they're both suffering the cold of Burlington, Vermont.
Yeah, the ones we know they've never met. I don't know. Maybe they have. Maybe they sit next to each other in class, and we have no idea. That'd be funny. So thank you, Heather, for being on. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your passion for Disney in general and how you got into all this, and then we'll dig a little bit into Disney Cruise Line.
Okay. So it goes back with, like most people, when I was a kid. I just loved Disney. And when I was 16 years old, my parents could finally afford to take us. And I remember being on the monorail, going to Magic Kingdom and seeing the Grand Floridian and saying to my parents, that's where I'm going to have my honeymoon. And I did. I had my honeymoon 10 years later at the Grand Floridian.
Oh my gosh, I love that story.
Yeah, so that was my first time at Disney when I was 16. And then my mother actually won a trip when I was 21. She won it through work at all expenses paid. And we stayed remember when Port Orleans was Dixie Landing?
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed there, and I have a picture of me in Hollywood Studios, which it was called, what was it called back then?
MGM.
Yeah, MGM. And me running after Mickey Mouse and my father yelling at me, "You're 21 years old. What are you doing?"
Living my best life. That's what I'm doing.
I'm like, that's my BFF. Don't you understand? So when my poor husband married me, he didn't realize that we would become this Disney family. And then it was, just we would go. I mean, my kids have gone since they were babies. We made, I always said, oh, we should give them a trip for their 5th birthday and their 10th birthday. Well, that was more so mom could plan a trip. But then it became, I got into Run Disney. So then it was like, oh, I'm going to be here often. I really should look into Disney Vacation Club. So, 2 contracts later,
What are your home resorts?
Polynesian and the Riviera.
I'm a Riviera girl. She's
Le Petit Cafe is my favorite coffee shop in all of the park.
I absolutely agree. I think it's fabulous. And I think, some place we haven't talked about lately is Bar Rib. I think that downstairs
love that.
Delicious. And
best Greek salad. Greek salad.
Everything down there is good. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the Riviera. That's our home resort too, and I love it. So yeah.
Yeah. And so cruise line we got into because I had wanted to, I said when my youngest Nicholas, who goes to UVM, was 5, I'm like, I want to take him on a Disney cruise. And he's an October baby, so it was like cheaper because I had gone on other cruise lines, not with the kids, but like growing up and stuff. And I was just like, I wanted something that was more family friendly. Like I didn't like the idea of a casino, and I just, I went on Carnival when I was in law school, and I don't remember it because I was drunk the whole time. I wanted a different experience for my kids. So, but at that time I was still young in my career, and it was like, oh, it's a stretch, it's a stretch to go. So it's going to be a one and done. We're platinum on our way to Pearl. It's not a one and done. And then, so it's like, it just kind of snowballed from there. And then it was like, oh, I'd love sometime to go to the Mediterranean on a Disney cruise. Well, then we did that. And, it became, my husband is not a huge fan of the parks in that he hates waiting in line. He hates the crowds. Like, it's a lot of work to go to Disney World unless you, I think, go often enough that you don't care if you don't get on Guardians. You don't care if you don't get on Tron. Like, I'm there 4 or 5 times a year now. So I just go because I love it. I love the feeling of it. I love the magic it brings. I go through those gates and I'm in the bubble and I don't worry about a darn thing. Like, it's just, my life could be falling apart. And when, in 2022, when my dad was dying, like literally, I took Nicholas and I ran Springtime, and I took him with me just to get him into a better environment. And it just was the best thing I could have done for myself. Like, it's just, and it's hard to explain because, I think people either love it or they hate it.
Oh yeah.
Or they think it's for kids. It's like they look at Disney adults and they're like, oh, that's just so stupid. And then one of our cruises, we did the mistake of adding an Adventure by Disney. And now 5 of those later.
Oh my goodness. You've done ABDs. Okay, we're gonna have to have you.
So yeah, we're pretty Disney.
Yeah, you are. I think you win. So yeah, ABD is something that I always look at, and then I look at the price tag. I'm like, okay, well, that's nice.
Well, to be fair, only my kids have only done one. We've done the ones as adults. Like, now that my oldest is 24 and Nicholas is 20, it's like, go make your own money.
Yeah.
And they don't have the time. They don't want, they don't have the time to go on vacation with us anymore. Like, they're busy.
Yeah.
So
don't tell me that. I'm still holding on. I want them to go on vacation with me for
no, I mean, Nicholas will go more than Robbie, but Robbie is starting to realize, like, Nicholas and I did a Northern European cruise in 2023 on the Dream, and Robbie didn't want to go. And Nicholas was like, you are just such an idiot. Mom is paying for this, and you're not going to take advantage to go to see all these countries. Like, you are an idiot. So he did go to Disney World over Labor Day. My husband and him was the first time they'd been in 5 years. So I did like the express, the ridiculous lightning lane that you pay for the whole day, because I didn't want to hear one complaint about crowds.
You're a smart lady. I get it.
But with the cruises, you don't have to worry about that. So like, my husband really can relax on the Disney cruises, and now we go with friends, and it's just like the trip on the Destiny was with two other couples that we met on the ABD to Greece 2 years ago.
Wow,
And that's who we're going with next year on the Adriatic cruise on the
that's
Wish.
fantastic. So these are people that you went on ABD with. You never met them before.
Nope.
And was that
Talk to them in the Facebook group, about like, what are you packing? What are you doing? And then we met, we hit it off. And actually one of them, her and her daughter went to Scotland with Bill and I at ABD this past May. And yeah, I mean, it's just, we've made friends for life. And that's what Disney does.
Yeah, that's incredible. Gosh, I really want to do an ABD. Again, that money tree in the backyard. I've got to plant. Clearly, I'm not giving it enough nutrients and love because it's not. Okay, so you're an expert on lots of Disney subjects: the parks, Run Disney, ABD. But tonight we're going to talk about cruise line. But in particular, we're going to talk about one ship that I have not sailed yet. And I find her very intriguing because she's one of the newer ships. So I think if anyone's new to Disney Cruise Line, there were the two original ships, the Magic and the Wonder. And they're awesome. And I'm not saying the Magic, but I love the Wonder. And they are small and wonderful. And even though they're original, they still have just as much charm and everything's fantastic about them. You would not know that they are that as old as they are. Then they have the next class of ships, and the sister ships are the Dream and the Fantasy being my favorite. And those are awesome, and they have their own benefits and greatness. And then they came out with the Wish class, and the Wish being the first of those three. So there was the Wish, the Treasure, and the Destiny. So I've been on the Wish, and I'm getting ready to sail the Treasure this summer, but the Destiny I've not been on, but you have. So why don't you tell us when you sailed, who you sailed with, give us a little bit of history, how this all came together, and then we can dig into the ship a little bit.
Okay, so when they announced when it was going to set sail, the inaugural sailings, we had talked as a group. It was, like I said, two other couples, and then another friend and one of her best friends, and then another friend of mine who I'd met on the Rhine River Cruise ABD. She decided to join us. So we started talking. So this had been planned since they announced the itineraries. So what, over a year? Because it's about a year that they announce them. Yeah. And we, honestly, I wasn't crazy about where we were going. We were going out of Fort Lauderdale. We were going to Cozumel, and we were going to Castaway. Castaway, I was excited about. I love Castaway. I wanted to go to Lookout, but there was nothing that worked. And I'd been to Cozumel before, and I was kind of like, ugh. But I really wanted to get on this ship because the theme intrigued me. It was a different theme, and just the artwork I had seen, and I heard about the different lounges, and the Wish is not my favorite ship, but I don't have the reaction that a lot of people had with it. Like and maybe because it was the one time I sailed concierge. It was for my 50th birthday, and it was me and a girlfriend for our 50th birthday. So and I was only paying for myself, and we booked it like first day. So it was a really good rate. And we went concierge. So that could have something to do with it. The elevator thing was annoying. There were things that were like annoying. The running track gone, that on all the ships, that just drives me crazy. But
I cannot figure out who decided to take the deck 4 running track out. Why did you do that?
And who decided to put the rainforest room in the middle of something that people are looking down at you? I don't want people looking down at me as I'm in my bathing suit on a lounger like that. You know, it's kind of weird. But the theming was like, I just had to get on this ship. So that's how it came about. We booked it, and we just patiently waited the year.
So the Wish ship is princessy, classy, kind of, wishful. It's very elegant is how I would describe it. The Treasure has a lot of nods to the parks. So there's a lot of things on the Treasure that, there's the Haunted Mansion bar, and there's things like that. So there are a lot of park-centric themes and places to stay. The Destiny, why don't you tell us a little bit about what makes that ship special and why it's unique?
Because it's heroes and villains, and it tells a fantastic story. You know, all the ships tell a story, but it's just something like when you walk in to the HEM and there's the Black Panther is the statue there. And that is just, it's not your traditional Disney that you expect. You expect Minnie Mouse, Daisy, like you expect that, Cinderella, Snow White. And I think it took the characters like Merida. Merida to me never gets enough love. She is my favorite princess. Meg from Hercules. Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, like Spider-Man. I mean, I'm not a huge Marvel person, so I could, care less about Marvel, but they're there, right? Spider-Man is on the, the bow or the stern, I forget which one of the ship. But it just those aspects of it were just awesome because I think it appealed to everyone. There was something for everyone. And I don't know, like on the Wish, if you could say that, like I have boys. Like, I don't know if they would have been like, on the Wish, like, okay, this is all. But here, they know who, Loki is. And it's just, I don't know, it's just different. It's beautifully done. The lounges are just stunning. Like they have those, what I do like what they've done with these ships is they've made, so for the pool area, they don't have one big pool. They have several little pools. They don't have one just adult coffee bar now. They have several coffee bars throughout the ship. And they're like, you have the Merida one, you have the Meg one. Like, it's just nods to the characters that I don't think get enough love, quite frankly. Like, I don't know.
I'm with you. So when exactly did you sail? What
January 17th we sailed. It was a 5-day cruise.
And was this your first time going in and out of Fort Lauderdale?
On Disney, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was that experience? Because most people on Disney, their very first, I would say their first exposure to a Disney cruise is going out of Port Canaveral. They can go to the Disney parks. They can either take the Disney shuttle or something and get down to Port Canaveral. And that, I think that's kind of the entree to starting with Disney Cruise Line. But this is different. This is Fort Lauderdale. It's a little bit of a different port, but now they have their own port there. Disney does their own. So why don't you tell how did you get there? How was that experience? Any tips for staying the night before?
Yeah. So we went down the cruise was started on a Saturday. So we actually flew down that Thursday and we stayed at the Hilton Beach Club Resort, right on the beach. And we went down Thursday, just kind of like got our bearings to where everything was. And the Friday we booked an all-day tour of the Everglades because we love to go to the national parks, but honestly, that's not a national park I would go just for that. And I am so glad we did. It was phenomenal. The tour was amazing. It was 10.5 hours long.
Wow.
We left at 7 a.m. and we did not get back till after 5.
And is it something that kids can do, or is it adult only?
Nope, kids can do it. Do it. And it just goes from one end of Florida to the other end. You're at the Gulf of Mexico.
That's crazy.
It's like, it included going through the Everglades in those boats, those big loud boats. I forget what they're called. Then it involved stopping and doing a little hikes. We saw manatees. And then we went on a boat out to the Gulf and dolphins were following us. Like, we saw all this different wildlife. It was just a cool thing to do. And we always like to fly in a couple days early for the cruise because I never want to be on an airplane and something go wrong and us miss the boat because I would just cry.
You just hear what she said. I cannot stress this enough. Never, ever, 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 ever fly on the day of your departure day. Don't do it. I mean, unless you live in Orlando and you're driving to the port, don't take the risk. Like, please don't leave the same day. Always arrive at least the night before. But I love this idea of giving yourself a chance to explore a new area because I'm not really sure that I've spent any time. I mean, I think maybe as a kid we went to the beach there once or twice. I don't know, but I love that you looked for something to do and you had this great experience the day before your sailing.
Yeah, it was good. I wish the weather had been warmer. It was not warm. It was, I want to say 60s.
But warmer
Warm,
than home.
warmer at home, but that humidity, Jody, that humidity gets in your bones. And when you're on one of those boats going really fast and all you have is a dopey running jacket, you get a little chilly. But yeah,
Sure.
I can't, I stress enough. You have to go at least the night before. Like you cannot fly. We had one time where I think it was Hurricane Matthew came in. We were supposed to go stay at Disney for the weekend and then get on the Dream that Monday. And the hurricane came through and we had to cancel the Disney World piece, but we were still flying down Monday to catch a ship. And I was a nervous wreck the whole time until we could get to Port Canaveral. I was so, because you're not just flying. It's not, I mean, in Fort Lauderdale, I guess if you were to fly, you're right there. But you go to Orlando, you still got an hour's drive
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
anything can happen.
Yeah.
So
There
yeah.
can be one wreck and then
Yeah.
I'm with you. Well, I'm glad that you did that and went down early. Plus, it gave you a chance to see a different area and explore a new
Yeah.
national park, and that's cool. I mean, that's something awesome to do. So, good tip there. So, how was the actual port? Comparatively speaking, did you
So
find?
easy. So easy to get through. Like really, we had a late port arrival time. I don't know what, I'm usually like on this and getting like first time on, but for some reason, I don't know, the holidays or whatever screwed me up. So we weren't actually leaving to the hotel till like 1, but it was great because there was no traffic and we just got to walk on the ship. And it was like, and we had already had lunch back at a restaurant near the hotel. So we didn't even bother to go up and get lunch. And we were just like, our room was ready already. And we were on it by 2. So it wasn't bad. And we just got to like start exploring the ship.
That's great. So, what type of room did you book for this cruise?
We had an veranda. So a
Great.
deluxe family. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you like the layout of the stateroom?
I liked it. I thought there was more storage space in these rooms actually. Now I don't know if it seemed like that because I didn't have my 2 kids with us who are usually like on the bunks, but yeah, I mean it didn't seem that much different than the Disney ships, but I did feel like it had a little bit more storage space. I felt like we weren't tripping over things because I can sometimes be a tornado in a room. Like I come in and I just start taking things off and throwing things and my makeup's everywhere. And yeah, so, but I love having a veranda. I just love being able to step outside. But again, it was not warm.
So what was the theme of your room? Because with these ships,
Mulan.
Mulan, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And did you know that, or was that a surprise for you?
No, that was a surprise. That was a
Okay.
surprise.
All right.
Yeah.
So my kids aren't going to listen to this, but for the treasure, I purposely booked a stateroom that was a theming that I changed staterooms because I wanted a certain theme. The
Oh,
most ridiculous thing ever to change staterooms to get the theme of the artwork and stuff that you wanted. But yeah, I'm like, that's really dumb thing to do, but I did. So
it's not. It's what you want. You're paying for it. Why not?
I know. They're just, they're the added bonus that get to go on a free trip. So, all right. So that first day, so you didn't go to it's Marceline Market on that ship
Yeah.
also, right? So you didn't go
Yeah.
there, but you anything fun that you did that first day?
What did we do? We just kind of explored. We explored, went to the different we went right to the haunted mansion parlor, the bar there, and we got there like a half hour before it closed. So we ordered a drink and then everyone else was leaving, so we had the place to ourselves. So we were able to like walk around and take pictures and take videos and be silly and really experience the bar because it is so well done. It really is. The theming is amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just really good. And we did that, and then We did the sail away party, of course. We did that. So that was fun. One of the girls that we went with, it was her birthday. So her travel agent got her the package with the cape. So she's running around with the cape.
That's super fun.
Yeah, so we did that. And then
Did you have late dining or early dining?
we had late dining. Yeah, we had late dining.
Is there a
Yeah.
show that first night? I can never remember.
There was there a show the first
Oh yeah, I
night?
think
No.
no, there's not.
No, maybe there was. Maybe there was. Yeah, it was like the see something show. So it was very, just kind of generic, like welcome to the ship and blah blah blah. The characters came out, sang and danced and stuff like that. So yeah, that was that night. And then we had our dinner, our first dinner was at Pride Lands.
Oh, okay. So tell us about that.
Those performers, like, unbelievable. Like, you literally stopped eating and you just watched and listened. I mean, they were just, I mean, I've seen The Lion King on Broadway twice already, and these people just could have been taken from those cast. And just, it was so good. And they like would do something and then they'd take a break and then they'd come back. So it wasn't like you were constantly having to watch and you're trying to enjoy your meal. But it was just incredible. In fact, afterwards we went up to the cast and we were talking to them and we were just like, this is like one of the best shows that they could have done. And the restaurant is stunning.
I've heard nothing but rave reviews of that experience. So I'm so glad to hear that you loved it. I think it just looks, I love the theming. I love that they went all in with it. I think it's just phenomenal. So I'm glad to hear that you loved it. So
yeah, it was really, it was.
Who cares about the food? Like it's, it's, you have all those other great things to look at. So
exactly. So, and then after dinner, we always would go and do like the games. Like we love the game shows and the adult game shows.
Yes.
And there were some pretty racy ones we did. They were pretty funny.
That's funny. Well, I guess in January you would think there wouldn't be that many kids on the ship.
You would think, but there were.
It is Disney Cruise Line, so there's going to be kids no matter what.
I agree, though. I didn't think, especially where they had just gone back to school after the holidays, but there were a lot of littles that were really cute. So that in fact, we were in line waiting for Minnie in her superhero costume, and we got there. Me and one of my friends, we got there just as they were closing down the line, so we were like last, and I was all excited. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna see it," because I really wanted her in her little costume there. And about 10 minutes later, a guy told his daughter to get in line, and the cast member told her, "No, I'm sorry, it's closed." And he looked at us and he goes, "Stupid Disney adults," and walked away.
What?
And the cast member said something to him, but I couldn't hear what the cast member said. And then the cast member just looked at us and he said, "I got you." And I was just like, "Oh, yeah."
Wow.
It's like everyone has a navigator, sir. Look at the time and get here.
I mean, your lack of planning is not my problem.
Right. Yeah.
Like when we were on our Alaska sailing, I was in line 1 hour before the characters came out because it was important to me.
Yep.
I don't care. I'm like, that's what I wanted to do. I got us our shirts. We were ready. It was the thing that was like my highest priority for that sailing. So Disney adult it all you want. I mean, your love, that it just is compounding because you've had more years to love it. So I'm not saying take it away. Like I wouldn't kick a kid out of the way, but I'm following the rules and getting in line as I'm supposed to at the correct time. If you want to see whatever character and however they're dressed, then look at the thing and get there in time. I mean,
and honestly, his child could care less. She was like, "Okay," and walked away. Like she was like, "All right, let's next. Who else is here?" Like. So yeah, so that was that didn't happen the first night, but so we did some game shows the first night, and then so that was the first night, So then what was it? The second one night it was a, oh,
Is it
it
a
was a
C day
C,
your second
it
day?
was a C day. This was fun because the girls did enchanté.
Oh, for
Yes.
is enchanté only dinner?
This was like a brunch lunch thing.
Okay, I didn't know that
So
served.
yeah. So
Okay.
it was there was how many of us? One, two, three, four, five of us. And it was just the girls only. So the guys went and watched football. And it just happened to be the Patriots were playing the Texans, and they're from Texas and we're from Boston. So the guys went to a pub that is themed after Pirates of the Caribbean. It's really cool. So they went to that. So we were at Enchante, and it was a like a 7-course meal that we chose. Like, you had different ones you could choose from, different levels. So we all chose the same one. You didn't have to, but it does make it easier if you do. And then you could do either a champagne pairing with it or a wine pairing. And I love champagne. So there's one price for the champagne pairing, but what they don't tell you is that then they give you choices of the different levels of champagne. So the first glass, they come out like, this is our Dom Perignon, this is our, it wasn't Cristal, but something like Cristal. And of course I'm like, take that. $625 later a person.
Oh, wow.
But the food was amazing. It was the best meal I've ever had on a Disney ship.
Okay. So
To me, that's a once in a lifetime thing. I will not do it again. First of all, my husband would never eat the food. So going with him would be a waste of time. He's Apollo brunch guy.
yeah,
But it was a fun girl. It was for her birthday. It was a fun girls thing. We were the last ones there. They weren't kicking us out. We were there 4 hours.
that's amazing.
And it was just, yeah. And so we
I love
each
that.
had the equivalent of 8 glasses of champagne.
That makes for a great day.
So it
That
was a very good day. And
everybody's happy.
yeah,
Everybody's
everyone was happy. Everyone was happy. Yeah. And so we go back, we find the guys, and of course they had all had their beers and stuff. And only half of us turned up for dinner that night. I mean, we went to dinner, but some of the friends didn't. And then the ones that were at dinner, we didn't really eat very much.
yeah. But even so, if that would have been the problem, here's my problem. If that would have been my Pride Lands dinner that night, because you don't know what your rotation is when you're booking
Exactly. Yes.
for Hallow, Remy, Enchanté, whatever your choice may be on whatever ship you're on.
Yep.
So you have to kind of blindly pick whatever day you want to do that experience, but you have no idea what your rotational dining is that night. So I think like if that would have been my Pride Land dinner, I would have been like, what am I going to do? That would have been a
Yeah.
fun thing to choose. I mean, Pride Land dinner is always going to be there, and your friend's birthday with a bunch of girls is probably only going to happen once every blue moon, but
And honestly, we thought we would be done in 2 hours because when you book it, it's only for a 2-hour window you're booking it. And it was at noontime. We didn't have dinner till 8:15. So, and our dinner that night was at 1923, which is a really cool place, a beautiful restaurant. I still ate.
but it's also on the Wish and it's also on the Treasure. So it's not one of those super unique, only on that sailing, only on that ship type of experience. So as great as it is, I would, at least it was one that if you were going to have one double up, I guess that was a good one. So
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
awesome. One of these days. So we did Remy dinner one time. Again,
Mhm.
900 courses. They even come out with the big cheese dome at the
Yeah.
end. It was quite the experience. It was our anniversary, so it was lovely. Not something I would do every sailing, but
No.
but as a special treat, that's a life is worth living. Those are experiences, memories you're never ever going to forget. So
No, and afterwards, actually, the ladies, I forgot, after we went to him, we found the guys. And then I have to say, one thing I liked about the Destiny in particular were the character encounters. They were more than just meet and greets for some of the bigger, like Maleficent, Cruella de Vil, and then he's a Marvel guy, so he's a scientist, something, doctor, I don't know. But no, he's not a scientist. He's a magician. I didn't stand in line, but you go into, like, Cruella de Vil had her own private room, so you waited in line. So we waited an hour, and then you go in and you have a photo shoot with her, and you have an interaction, and it was so much fun. So that was done several times during the trip. I did it twice because I had so much fun with her, and then the Maleficent, which we did on the other sea day, was in one of the lounges that's sort of out, like you can see it from the outside, but then they can like close it all off. They would close it all off, and it became basically her dungeon.
oh,
And you
that's
go in there, and she comes out, and she was scary. Like, she was freaking amazing. And then you actually go up on stage and get your picture taken with her.
that's super
And
cool.
it lasted probably 20 minutes by the time you got your picture taken. We were like one in the first row because we lined up so early. So yeah, it was, but like those types of things, it's just, they made the trip. It was just different enough because
Yeah.
those are characters that you don't see in the parks unless you're running a Run Disney event. Then you'll
Mhm.
see, like, I've had my picture taken with Maleficent on the course, never with Cruella de Vil.
Can
So
I
that
tell you
was
a funny story about me meeting Maleficent on the course? So it was Princess 2023, I think. And it was the half marathon, and it was Maleficent, the Queen of Hearts, and somebody
was it the
else.
Evil Queen?
Maybe, yeah, maybe the Evil the Queen, the three of them. And I only wanted Maleficent. Well, I get up to mine, and she goes to take a break. So I was like, no. So I stood in the side, and I let, like, I don't know, 100 people. And all these people are like, are you in line? I'm like, go ahead. It's okay. I'm waiting for Maleficent. Go ahead. It's okay. And then my picture didn't show up in my Run Disney photos.
Oh
Must have been turned, but luckily I had a timestamp. I knew exactly because I took a picture right when she was coming back in, and then I took another picture right when I left. So I knew exactly when I was there. So I was able to tell them, like, here's when I was there, and they were able to find it. But I was like, I just waited. I mean, I think I waited like 20 minutes to.
Oh my God, that's so stressful.
I'm like, I just waited and waited and waited and waited and waited because I'm like, I have to meet her. I love her. I have to meet her. Like, I mean, no offense to the other two, but I need
Right.
Maleficent. So
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of funny. So if I ever get on the Destiny, I'm going to be in that line. Now, I heard there's a really cool experience with Cruella.
I did it. I dressed up.
Tell me about this. I've
Okay.
heard bits and pieces. So what is it called? What's involved? How would you recommend people take advantage of that?
So the thing is, it's not on your navigator
Oh,
until like the very day it happens. But we had found out from one of the cruise groups that Cruella does a fashion show on the Destiny. So I bought a Cruella outfit on Amazon, and my friend bought a Dalmatian outfit. And when we got on the ship and we couldn't find it on the navigator, we're like, oh, great, we bought these outfits for nothing, you know? So, and then it was the second day at sea, and it just popped up, and it said it was going to be at X time. It was before dinner. So it was like, I think it was at it was in between the two dinners. So it couldn't have been the night of Hercules, because we'll talk about that. That was amazing. But so what it was is they would, anyone could do it, and they divided you into, like, whether you're a princess, like you didn't have to be Cruella, but if you were a villain, if you were a princess, a hero, a princess, so the little kids come and all that. So because we were Cruella themed, we got to go last. So she comes out and she's doing it, and then they have music, and you basically walk a catwalk. So you're like walking the catwalk, everyone's watching. And then she actually like makes comments and stuff, and then she takes you out herself to say, okay, this is what I liked about you, this is what I liked about you, and then you do group pitches with her. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It's
That's
really
cool.
fun. Yeah,
So
yeah.
is this something open to families or is it just
Well,
adults?
anyone can do it. Anyone
Okay.
can do it. Yeah.
Okay. And how was the wait for that? So was it something like you needed to be there? You know, if it started at
There,
let's just say one
there
o'clock.
wasn't there wasn't a ton of people because they don't drop it until, I think, the people that were in line for it, I think there may have been 20 people who participated. I think because unless you had heard about it from somebody else that had done it, you wouldn't have known because it wasn't, yeah, it wasn't on the navigator at all. I was like, look at I'm like, where is it? And I'm like, they're not going to do it. And then what was nice about it is we went over to, so the Cruella de Vil bar has an indoor and not indoor. Yeah, indoor, outdoor, but you know what I mean, in the cruise. So it has an outside bar area. And then you actually in the lounge. And the lounge is small. We did go into the lounge one night and that was great. We sat at the bar and we listened to some piano music and stuff. And it's so tastefully done. Like it is just so cool to see all the Cruella stuff. But the drinks themselves are amazing. And so afterwards, we were waiting for dinner. So my friend and I went dressed as a Dalmatian and Cruella and sat out at the outside thing in the lobby area there. And I ordered this drink that comes in a tray, and it comes with bottle of what's supposed to be perfume, but it's champagne. And then the drink, you're supposed to spritz the drink with the champagne, and then it comes with a lipstick that's actually frozen Chambord.
Oh my gosh.
And
I mean,
and it comes on this tray, and it is just like, it is so freaking cool. It is just like but the thing is, you cannot, there's so much champagne in that perfume thing. There's no way you can drink it all plus the drink. So, I mean, I think the drink was like $45. But it was just like, be dressed like her and to have this drink. It was just so much fun. It was
that
just
is
like,
so cool.
they had to do it. It was just a
I
lot of
love
fun.
that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's so cool. That is so cool. Okay, now I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I need to do the Destiny next summer instead of what we were thinking about because, well, you're talking it up so much. I'm like, oh, no, I gotta check it out. Okay, so the Cruella show, the Cruella bar, those are both unique to that ship. Very unique experiences.
Yep.
And we talked about the character interaction experiences because those sound really interesting and different too. Like not the way they've done them on other Disney cruise lines. I think they're getting better and better with different things each time they start doing these new ships. So
Yeah, and now they do magic shots on the ships.
oh, I didn't know that.
So, no, yeah. So I was like, okay, because I was trying to think, like, well, when was the last time I was on a ship that I didn't know about this? But I was on a ship in 2023, so it hasn't been that long. So they did, and this you had to line up for fairly early, but at 8:30 in the morning on a couple of the mornings, the 2C days, you could line up at the Haunted Mansion parlor and they did magic shots where you would go in and you would have your own little photo shoot, sitting in the chair, doing all of these different things, acting scared, hitchhiking, like all of this stuff. But then they also offered them at night when they do the photos in between dinners and stuff. They had special magic shots. And it was just so much fun. Like they've really upped their game when it comes to their photos. Like we had the best time pirate night just getting silly photos done. Like it was just, yeah, it was just so like, I feel like they've really listened to what people have said, what they like about the parks, and they're bringing it onto the ships the best they can.
That's awesome. I love that. I think they're just getting better and better. So
yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about Cruella. Now there's also something else I've heard about these ships, and I could be getting. So there's the Cruella show. Isn't there something else that's adult only that's really hard to get into? Is it the Indiana Jones or is that on the Treasure?
That's on the treasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something, or maybe I'm making this up. I should have looked it up ahead of time. Hmm. Oh, Dr. Facilier. That's it. Did
That's
you
him.
do that?
That's the guy.
Okay. So
So
did
I
you
did
do,
not do that because
okay,
I
from
did
Princess and the Frog?
like I was like I didn't do that. I didn't know who he was.
Okay.
Um but my friends did it and loved it and thought it was great. Yeah.
Awesome. And
But
that's the only thing.
I don't know if it's adult only thing, but he only takes 20 people. So
Oh.
you got to get in line like really early, and he only takes 20 people.
Okay.
And
So
he was out probably, I would say probably 3 times I saw him on the Navigator.
all right. I'm a huge Princess and the Frog fan and love him. So that would be a high priority for me. I'd have to figure
Yeah.
that one out. So, all right. Okay. So I know we should probably talk about the ports and what you did and all that stuff because, that's part of the sailing. But the ship is so cool that I want to keep talking about the ship. So,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't go on the ship for the ports. I went for the ship itself. But, it's nice to get off and see. I mean, I love Castaway. We got a cabana for the first time ever.
oh, how was
Um,
that?
so it was nice, but it was freezing.
Um, yeah.
It was cold.
Did they bring you blankies?
I mean, we had towels and like it was fine, and I kept my regular clothes on. I was not walking around in my bathing suit, that's for sure. But it was nice to be in the adult beach and have the cabana, and when you're sharing it with people, it's not that expensive. So, but we went to Cozumel and we did that was Monday. So yeah, Sunday was a sea day. Monday we went to Cozumel and it's this new adventure beach park called Kuka, Kuka, and it's fairly new. And honestly, I felt deceived by the description of it. They told it as like this beach club, right? So we're thinking like, okay, we're going to like a nice beach club. And they had a family one and then they had a VIP one. And the VIP one, the way they described it, you were on a different section, you got bar service, you got special food, you got better seats. Well, that was sold out. So our friends got it, but Bill and I couldn't get it because it was sold out. And I was like, I don't care, whatever. Well, the excursion itself was only 4 hours long, and it took you 40 minutes to get there and 40 minutes back.
Oh.
So that kind of stunk.
Did you book this for Disney?
Yeah. And a lot of times I'll do private excursions. I don't book through Disney because it's just, you can get such a better deal by going through. And as long as they have a guarantee they'll get me back to the ship or fly me to where I need to be, then I'm okay with it. But there really wasn't a lot of options, I felt, in Cozumel that I wanted to do. Like, we've swam with the dolphins. We've done that. I didn't want to go ATV. And I just, so we get there and it's like an adventure park that's still being built. So the adventure piece of it, like with zip lines and stuff like that. So it looks like it's going to be really cool at one point, but there's gonna be a resort there, but they haven't even started to build it yet. So basically it's like a piece of beach that they got beach chairs on, and they did have like a couple of little shops, I guess. I didn't go into them. The area that you eat at is very nice. Had a great buffet, but I was like, okay, whatever. So we get our chairs, and then about an hour and a half later, we time to eat. So my husband and I go eat. We take some fun pictures. But some of these, the murals that you look like an angel, like the angel wings and stuff. So we did that. They had a dragon and stuff. Then we're walking back to our seats, and I see our friends at the VIP section, which is literally right next to us.
Oh.
And the only difference was they had cushions on their seats. We got bar service at our seats. They came around and gave us bar service, and their food was in a different place, and they weren't given a place to sit and eat. We sat in a nice covered area. So if it had been a really hot day, it would have been great. Nice covered area. They didn't have that. They had to bring their food back to their seats.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. So it was like, I want to say it was like a $50 difference per person for that.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was, and so we ended up just sitting with them because nobody was policing it. So
Yeah.
we spent the last hour of our time sitting with them in their section, and then we left because they had a later time, so they were coming back later. But yeah, it was. I think, if we were to do this itinerary again, I would stay on the ship and just have the ship to myself, and hopefully, if it was warmer, have a nice pool day in the adult section or do the aqua house or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I mean, I think if you've never been there before, or if you have littles, there's a lot of fun things to do and
Yeah.
explore. That's a shame about that. I'm sorry that it was such a
Yeah.
bad
It,
experience.
it was just kind of like, huh, that's kind of odd. I mean, the beach was nice, but again, and they can't control the weather. It wasn't that warm. Like it wasn't even that warm in Mexico. It was just, the weather has just been so crazy everywhere. So
This year has been crazy. That is for certain.
yeah,
That's for
yeah.
sure. Okay, so that night, what did you get to do that night?
So that night we had dinner at the World of Marvel.
And that's the same as the Wish, right?
It is, except the Wish at the end of the show that they do online, characters come out. There were no characters.
Huh.
It was Ant-Man and who was the girl that came out? Again, I'm not a Marvel fan, so who's the girl? Black Widow? Is that her? I don't know. But they came out at the end on the Wish. They didn't in the World Marvel. It was just basically that trivia game that's
Huh.
on the screen.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I have to say, I really like the menu at the World of Marvel. I thought their food was really, really good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. So that was nice. And then we did. Oh, this is when we did Match Your Mate,
Oh, I
and
love that game.
so we watched it, and it was racy.
Did any of your
Oh,
friends get on stage?
so none of us got on stage, but there was a couple that had been married 40 something years that was upstage. And then there was another couple that had just got engaged, and then another couple who just got married. And they were lesbians, and they just got married, and they had met. How did they meet? They were friends first, and their first date was at Port Orleans and Disney World. So like we learned about their first date and stuff like that. But like they did not hold back in some of these questions. And like the host of it was like, oh my. He's like, there's nobody here under 18, right? There's nobody here under 18. I mean, it was hysterical. Just some of the questions were so funny. So we did that night, and then there was a silent disco afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty fun. So that was Cozumel. And we got back from our excursion pretty early. I want to say we were back by 3. And one of my favorite things to do is go up to the Cove coffee shop in the adult section. And I have to say, the new chairs they have on the Destiny, I don't recall seeing them on the Wish, but they have these rocking chairs, or gliders really, in the adult section that are so comfortable. And I just grabbed a couple of towels and wrapped myself up, and the sun was out, so it was nice, and just read my book and had a cappuccino. It was just, yeah, it was really, really, that's one of my favorite things to do on those ships.
Yeah. I love to snuggle up with my book and read a couple pages, maybe snooze a little bit, maybe read a couple more
exactly.
pages, like just no pressure, just whatever. It's so nice. So what night was the big show, the Hercules show?
So Hercules was actually Tuesday night.
Okay.
So they didn't do a show on Sunday night. No. Was the Sunday night was like a comedian, and then Pirate Night was Monday. Oh yeah, Pirate Night was Monday night. Was it Monday night? Yeah, Pirate Night was Monday night. Yeah. So that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, because that was actually. No, it wasn't Monday night. I'm getting my days mixed up.
Cast night.
Pirate Night was Wednesday night because we were at 1923 again. That's right. We were at 1923 again. Because we repeated Pride Lands and we repeated 1923. We only were at World of Marvel once. So so Hercules must have been Tuesday night. So that they did a matinee show. So it was a C day. Yeah. So it would have been the C day. So it would have been Tuesday. They did a matinee show at 1 o'clock. And I guess the lines were insane. I had a massage at that time, so I didn't see the lines, but my friends did. And they said that the lines were insane. And then we got there. So some of our friends stayed concierge. So they got to go into the show early. So they were going to save us seats. So we could, make sure we got a seat that night, which I'm glad because it was packed.
That's interesting because you had late dining too.
Yeah.
I always think about the people with late dining, the shows aren't nearly as crowded because you see the show first and then you eat second. And normally it's the people who have early dining who see the show second. That's the packed show. So I have heard people skip their main dining to get in line earlier, like that they just do room service or grab something quick to eat, just so they can get in line early enough for Hercules. So
it's worth it. It is by far one of the best shows that they've done. And again, the talent that they bring, it's just it really, and I was shocked at how much I liked it because Hercules is not my favorite movie. I mean, I like it okay, but it's not, but it was funny. The songs were so much fun. And I guess last springtime, me and Liz and Vanessa and Jen dressed up as the Muses and ran as that. So that kind of made it even fun, but it was, it was fantastic. Highly worth. I would skip a dinner to stay in line for that.
Wow, that's big. So I've heard it's amazing, and I'm glad to hear that you thought it was too. Because I think the shows are always fantastic, but I've heard this one and Moana are just next level.
Yes, I'd love to see Moana. Yeah, I would love to see that one. But there was I was surprised because I'd never seen them do a matinee before. And it was pretty.
I heard that they are doing that because it's so popular that so many people want to see it. But that's good to know that if you want the matinee, you better go get in line early. So
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. What other highlights from the ship or any unique things do you want to share that's just different about the Destiny than any other Disney Cruise Line ships, or any tips you would share with someone don't forget to do this, or this was really unique, or something that's different for DCL?
I do think if you're going on the ship, and this is going to sound like a negative, and I don't mean it to be, but I'm a girl who likes to shop, and I was disappointed in the merchandise.
Oh,
I feel like they've gone to the level of what I remember on other cruise lines. It's all expensive jewelry. And even in Mickey's main sale's big. It's big. It's a lot bigger than on, any of the other ships. I mean, it's probably the same size on the Wish, but I don't know why I can't remember the Wish shop, but it just, and I don't know if it was, they were out of things, but they didn't seem to have the variety of merchandise. And, on the Wonder and the Magic and on the Dream and the Fantasy, they have the Mickey's main sale, but then they have that other store that has Disney stuff, but it's a little bit dressier clothes. Mm-hmm. They had a teeny little section of that in one of the luxury stores with other jewelry and handbags. And it was Tommy Bahama stuff. But I usually get a nice fun pair of pajamas on the ship. Nothing like that. So that was kind of disappointing. But if you want jewelry, they got plenty of that.
I'm just not a big jewelry wearer. I'm kind of plain Jane, and I don't like flashy stuff. So that wouldn't be anything. No matter what ship, I wouldn't be drawn to that. So I guess there must be people who buy it because they keep putting them on the ships. So there must be tell for it.
I would think too. Oh, for Pirate Night, I've never seen this before, but Pirate Night, the lines for Jack Sparrow were ridiculous. I had never seen, and I thought it was interesting because he's on all the other ships. He's in Disney World. Like you, but I get it. It's pirate night, but
Mhm.
it was so crazy that we were just like, we're not even going to bother. We've had our picture with him. We're not going to bother. Like it was insane. They did not do the pirate menu,
Wow.
which huge. We were so excited. So
Hold
you
on,
got your
hold on.
menu.
Time out. Scott Gardner, Scotty G. Did you just hear what she said? We all know how you feel about the pirate menu. Did you hear what Heather just said? Say it again, Heather, for the people in the back.
They did not do the pirate menu. And it's
This
because
is
of the
breaking
feedback
news.
that they have received. Even the servers were excited. They were like, yeah, there's so when they were telling, you know how they always tell you the night before, like tomorrow night's dinner, you're here at this restaurant, blah, blah, blah. So like, all right, remember tomorrow's pirate night. Make sure you bring your pirate costumes and blah, blah, blah. And guess what? There's no pirate menu. We're like, oh, I'm like, seriously? Seriously? It's like, nope, you're just gonna have the menu that's in. And I was excited because there was butternut squash ravioli on the menu, and I love that butternut squash ravioli. So I was like, yes. But yeah, there was no. I mean, I think people were just so happy. The servers were happy. We were happy. Like, yeah, no pirate, no
Wow.
pirate.
That is
Yeah.
big news. I've not heard that yet. So that's interesting. I do have to say I like the samosa appetizer for pirate.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes I just get that as my dinner. I'll get that and salad and call it a day because I do like those. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind pirate night dinner, but when you sail a bunch and it's on every ship on every Caribbean sailing, you just are like, okay, come on. Like
Yeah.
we have a little creativity here. So
Exactly.
I get it. I get it. So wow, that's big news. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was good, and the show was fantastic as usual. Um,
And fireworks.
What fireworks? Yes, that was iffy whether we were going to have it. We had a rough sailing as well. It was really rocky and windy. So we were actually hearing rumors that they were probably not going to do the fireworks because the wind was so bad. But then all of a sudden, like a half hour before, the wind stopped. And then they did the fireworks, and then the wind started up again because we went to bed that night, and my coat hangers were going boom, boom in the room. Between the wind and the waves. I mean, it was rocky at times.
Wow.
Yeah, but and also the sail away party. I thought this was pretty cool. You know how Mickey usually comes down he goes up to the top of the thing. It was Spider-Man.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so Spider-Man. So that was cool. And my nephews are huge Spider-Man. My nephews are 7 and 4, and they love Spider-Man. So I was like, doing the video. And he was another line that was very, very long.
Yeah.
Um,
That's you can't meet him in the parks and
yeah,
Disney World. So I see why people would be excited about that. So.
yeah. That line was very long. The kids club, I took a tour because I wanted to see it. I'm trying to convince my sister to take my nephews on a Disney cruise. And so I like went down and did a tour, and like my kids loved the kids club when they were little. This is next level with these kids. I'm like, oh, like I would never leave if I was a kid.
Is there a slide?
Yes, there's a slide.
Did
Yeah,
you go down the slide?
I went down the slide.
I went down the slide on the Wish. I'm like, I'm gonna totally go down the slide. Why not? Like I'm a kid today. You're allowed to go to the open house and you're allowed to go down the slide. I'm certainly gonna do it. So
Yeah. But I think the biggest thing is make time to go to all the different lounges, even if you don't drink, even if you don't, check them out because the artwork that's in them, the details that's in them. Like I took so many pictures of just different things on the ship that were just, and we never take the elevators because they're just such a pain in the butt, just so many people. Notice the artwork when you're going up and down the stairs. Like some of the, like, there was a painting of the Black Panther that was like unbelievable. Like it just was stunning.
Lonnie G,
Stunning.
did you hear that? I think now you're gonna be booking the Destiny because
It was just, it was gorgeous.
Did they offer the and it's an adult only thing where you can go they'll do a walking tour of the ship and tell you about the artwork and the design.
Yeah, they did have that. Yep, they did have that. Yep.
Did
I had
you-
done that on the Wish. I had done that on the Wish. Yeah. but we
I did
didn't
too.
do it.
I think that's so fascinating. Just the things that you wouldn't notice. Like this chandelier is like this on this floor, and then the next floor it's like this, and the next floor it's like this. And it's like, what? Like that's just the
Yeah,
amount of detail that they think through. And now that you were told you're going to be looking for it and you're going to be but you just the how they embrace the storytelling on the ships are just fantastic. And it sounds like they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one.
they did. They did. And I think that's why, even though it's the same layout as the Wish, people are overlooking that.
Yeah.
And because the theming is just but yeah, so take the time. Like every day I went to a different coffee bar because I wanted to like sit there and look at the details and
Well, and they
um
have various coffee bars on this ship. The original ships, it's the Cove, and that's it. So, you know,
right.
the newer ships, they have different coffee bars, so you
Yep.
can actually do that. So,
Yeah. And then they have, so they had the Vanellope's on the Dream, right? And they have um oh, why is her name slipping me from The Incredibles, the little lady, what's her name? Edna?
Edna Mode, yeah,
In
Edna
Yeah.
Mode.
Yep. So they have that there. It is probably half the size of Vanellope's. It's smaller, but still very yummy.
So
Still very, very yummy.
that's the paid ice
Yeah.
cream shop.
So that's paid ice cream shop, and they have pastries in there and stuff like that. You can get like the big sundaes, and but I would just go in and get a scoop of gelato, and it was really good. It's right next to Marcelina's Market.
Okay.
So, and what I like about the market is that they have a coffee bar in there now,
Yeah,
which
they
is
did on the Wish
really
too. I
nice.
really like that.
I
Because then
never noticed it on the Wish.
yeah, my daughter, who is a coffee person, when she was 17 or whatever, she could get her coffee and I wouldn't have to go get her coffee and bring it back, because it was always
Yeah.
only in the out area. So it's nice that it's in various places. And listen, it's a profit center for them. So for people who don't know, the gourmet coffees at the Cove or the different coffee shops are an upsell. So it's not included in your cruise fare. The normal black coffee that comes out of the big carafe, that's included in your sailing fare. It's not very good. But it will do in a pinch if you just need some coffee. But the fancy coffee you pay for. So just a little FYI. But they do offer them throughout the ship now, which is kind of nice. So I think that
Yeah.
was mission
Yeah.
smart.
And they do like, they just, they have so many different fancy ones. They had one, the Cove, that they actually poured espresso over ice cream. It was an Italian coffee.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really, really good. Yeah, and it's just, yeah,
And
and
they
you get
always
the
put
characters on the
jerseys
foam,
too.
and
They said it at the same time.
yeah,
I
it's
knew
like,
what I was going to say. The ice cream, just for, and again, this is just for people who are, I don't want to confuse anyone. There is the free soft serve on the ship still. So the Edna Mode that you referred to, that's different. That's kind of scooped ice cream, I guess is how I'd explain it, where
yeah,
the free soft serve is still there. So you can have all the free soft serve that you want. So I don't want to confuse anyone and have them think that, oh my gosh, now they're charging for ice cream. No, they're charging for that ice cream. So the soft serve, go to town. That's
yeah.
how
My
I,
husband didn't once get a regular ice cream. He got the soft serve the whole time,
yeah, my
multiple times.
son, I always tell my son, like, this is how we try to get some of our money back. Like, keep going. I don't care how many ice creams you eat, but as long as you eat a vegetable at dinner, I'm fine with it. Just eat all the ice cream you want. So,
Yeah,
well, Heather, this is awesome. I just hearing about this ship and about this cruise just seems fantastic. I don't know. I really now I'm changing my thoughts. Like maybe this is what I have to do next year. So, it sounds like it was a great time, and as always, I just appreciate friends telling us about their experiences because
yeah,
everyone has a different cruise experience, but this ship in particular, just I think has just they've really taken it to the next level, and it's great to hear that you had a great experience.
yeah. I definitely will be booking it again. I just want them to do a little bit longer than 5 days. I like 7 day cruises.
Yeah.
But I got to get on the Treasure. I mean, I'll be on the Wish next year for that cruise because the itinerary there is like phenomenal.
And what is it?
Croatia.
Oh,
So you leave from Rome and you go to Venice, which my husband has wanted to go to Venice for years. And then you go to Greece, which is my absolute favorite place in the world. And then you go to 2 stops in Croatia. So like, and they're only offering it once next summer. So I was like, when I saw it was on the wish, I'm like, I don't care. I want that. But I need to get on the treasure. I need to get on the treasure.
I know. You're like me. Like, I really need to get on. I mean, I still need to get on the magic somehow. But anyway.
The magic actually is my favorite ship.
Oh, is she? Well, now with the
Just
whole Rapunzel thing, my daughter is crazy about Rapunzel. And this will come out way after her birthday because her birthday is Sunday. So this won't be ruining it. But thank you, Anthony, our good friend Anthony. He is at Princess Race Weekend right now, and he got a pair of Rapunzel Brooks shoes for me to get
oh,
my
cool.
daughter for her birthday. So as a surprise, again, this will all be well after her birthday. This episode will come out, so it's not like I'm ruining anything. But so thankful that he was able to help me out and get those for her because she's going to be over the moon excited.
Yeah, that's a great show in the Magic. The Magic was our first cruise we took in 2010. So that's why it has a special place. And our server was so amazing that when we went on the Magic in 2018, 8 years later, the Mediterranean, we asked if he was still on the ship, and he was. So we got him for a servant, and he remembered my kids. Like he was not joking. He actually remembered them because Nicholas was afraid of the characters then. And it was one night at dinner. It was his birthday, his 5th birthday. He walked out of the restaurant and Pluto was right there and got down on his level. And from then on, he wasn't afraid of characters. And Oliver remembered that. So
That's
we actually had him as a servant. And that's the Disney difference right there. Like that is the Disney difference and why
I
we will
cannot
spend
believe
our money with the mouse.
that all those years later that you had the same server. I heard the Magic and the Wonder that the turnover is really small. Like
Yeah.
the staff stay, the crew members stay on there. So
His son was coming on to work on the ship.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was just, of course Disney's like, well, we can't promise you that you'll get the server. And then when we went to dinner and he came out, I was like, oh my God.
That's amazing. And the servers are, I mean, so it's funny that you said your favorite ship is Magic because it was the first one you sailed. Our first ship that we sailed was the Fantasy. I am convinced your first ship that you sail is your favorite. I think it's just, I'd love to see a pie chart of some sort of graph. Jason, you're really good at making all those charts and graphs and everything. Maybe this is some data analysis you can do, but if it's your first sailing, if that's your favorite ship, I really truly think that it happens.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I would, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
So, well, Heather, thank you so much. This has been so
Thank
much
you for having me.
Disney Cruise Line. I love hearing about this new ship, and it was a blast. So, from one catamount mom to the other. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye, friends.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
You can open the Kroger app and we'll tell you what aisle it's in. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Love you.